What's going on, guys? We are live. Had a little issue with my countdown timer there, so I figured we'll just go ahead and start the stream. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Hope you can hear me and see me and everything else is working okay. Let's see, there you are. All right, good. So you can see me at least. Frederick, what's going on? Nice to see you here today. Yeah, so welcome everyone, assuming you can hear me. Looks and sounds great. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. So yeah, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Shane, and here on this channel, we cover smart home tech, specifically in the Apple ecosystem. So all about building the smart home with Apple Home. I see a lot of members here. Thank you guys for joining us today and for being members, and for everybody else, welcome. So great to see you. Hope you're having a great day. Let's say hi to some folks and we'll kind of get started rolling here. We just kind of, relax and take it easy for the next hour or so. We'll talk about smart homes, any news, which I don't think there's been a lot of news here in the past week or so, but we could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you have any questions and stuff like that, we'll talk about some projects that I'm doing. Love to talk about your smart home projects and things like that. But yeah, let's see who is here in the house today. Frederick, what's going on? Frederick, good to see you here. Glad you could make it. Scott, Lone Star Trent is here. I see Silver Hammer Surveillance. My man George, good afternoon. After 10 long days, just got home from the hospital minutes ago. Wow. And this is my first act of normalcy. Wow. You made it. Thank you so much, George, for hanging out. We've been praying for you and thinking about you. George just had surgery recently. For those of you who know, George has a great YouTube channel also. If you don't know, go check out Silver Hammer Surveillance on YouTube. Great to hear you're home. Hope everything is well. And yeah, thanks for joining us, man. Definitely rest up, recover. We'll be here waiting for your videos whenever you're ready to get back. So let's see who else we got here. Jeff from Michigan says, glad you got through those 10 days and able to join us. Absolutely. Trey Pruitt is here. What's going on? Martin Hill, Brian Clark. What's going on, Brian? John is here. Let's see, Seth. Dean J, evening from the UK. Yeah, what time is it where everyone else is at? It's afternoon here, and it is a hot day. I think we hit 80 degrees here today, so that's pretty hot for February, even for here. But man, just a beautiful day outside. Definitely got spring fever again this week. 9 p.m. Where Kevin is in the UK as well. Jeff is covered in ice. Oh, yeah, I think I posted a photo on Instagram or something on my stories earlier showing off my Eve weather on the front porch, and it's like 76, 77 degrees or something. And I know some people were hating on me for that because all the snow in other places. Currently 23 hour in South Africa. We got South Africa in the house. Awesome. 5 a.m. in the Philippines. Let's see. 10 p.m. we got Germany in the house. Awesome, Germany. Let's see. Question. All right, we got some questions rolling. Yeah, so another thing too I'll mention, if you have a question like we always do, we'll do question and answer and stuff like that. Just type the word question. Usually it's highlighted. Doesn't look like it's doing it today for some reason. YouTube is weird like that. Sometimes that feature most of the time it works and sometimes it doesn't. So anyways, I'll try to get your question, preface your questions with question, and I'll try to answer best I can, and other people can certainly chime in as well, which is always appreciated. And please ask your question once if you do ask a question, and I'll try to get to them. Sometimes it takes me a minute, but I'll try to get to them all. You guys working on any good smart home projects? I've been tinkering around, messing with all kinds of stuff here lately. My whole smart home is kind of under construction, I guess you could say. I've been totally, as some of you know, if you've been watching, if you come to live streams every week, I've been kind of redoing my studio. So the whole studio here is just, I've got devices unplugged, all kinds of no response in my HomeKit right now. But been messing around with some different automations, been working on a little pressure sensor, which was really cool. I was working on that earlier. So I actually was creating an automation that would lower the blinds and change lights and stuff when I sat on the couch, which is really cool. Just having some fun, trying some new things in here. Paul says, what is your next big project? That's kind of the one I'm on right now. So, excuse me, just as far as smart home kind of tinkering goes, kind of working on that pressure sensor, getting that, some cool automations around that. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed messing around with that. I'll probably bring that to the YouTube channel pretty soon. And other than that, really the big project for me has just been this studio. So let's see, just yesterday I got another chair, finally came in the mail. So I think that's all the furniture that I need in the studio. So I've got all the furniture that I've been waiting on. Now I just need, well, no, I take that back. I want to get a coffee table and some kind of rug to put in here. And then I think that's it for the furniture. And then it's gonna be the fun part, which is gonna be putting stuff up on the wall. So I've got like a bunch of nano leaf stuff. I've got just some stuff from Grid Studios I want to put on the wall, just different things. So I'm going to make it look really awesome. Well, awesome to me. I can't wait. So that's kind of been my big project right now. What about you guys? Any big HomeKit products or HomeKit projects? Sorry. And for some reason, YouTube, let me see if I switch it to top chat. YouTube is not highlighting my questions today. For some reason. So that's going to make things a little difficult. But if you type the word question in there, I will do my best. And I'm sure the moderators here will help out. You guys are much appreciated. Let's see. All right, try to find questions. Question, for reasons unknown, everything went. Pete Tong and HomePods said no device found. I had to start from scratch, and now Siri says every time who's speaking. Sometimes Siri will do that. Usually it's if you're trying to trigger a shortcut, like a personal shortcut, because that does require a personal device. So usually when you hear who's speaking, it's either trying to trigger, it's usually trying to trigger a personal shortcut is what that's for. Usually when I hear that anyways. Ooh, 87 in Florida, nice. Yeah, I had to turn the AC up because like I'm kind of hot right now because it's so warm outside. The thermostat, wasn't planning on 87 or 80 degrees. You got 87 there. That's crazy. Do you know what it means when you reset in a car a door sensor and it just blinks blue about 30 times? Then nothing happens. I don't know off the top of my head. It sounds like it's trying to connect to your Wi-Fi. Usually when it's blinking blue, that connects to Wi-Fi. That's what it sounds like, but I would have to look that up to see specifically. 3 p.m. in Chicago, 32 and icy. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to deal with too much of that ice around here. Here you go. Jeff says, have you tried just repairing to the car app? I've had to reset a contact switch in the past. Yeah, that would be the route I would go to. Daniel says, question, help me decide. Should I wait for a car sensors that support Thread or shall I just go with Eve? You know, I'm a fan of Eve. There's nothing wrong with Eve. In fact, you can get some of the Eve products. I wonder if I can find, if you go to my last video, there is, you know what? I'll see if I can find it for you guys. There's actually, because they sponsored my last video right here. I'm going to try to stop it from playing. But here in the, right here, let me see if I can copy this code right here and the link.
Welcome to...
Oh, pause. I should have had that ready for you guys. So yeah, nothing wrong with Eve. I mean, a car is great too. You know, we don't know what a car is gonna look like with Thread, so their Zigbee stuff works great. I love a car stuff as well. But if you don't wanna wait, there's nothing wrong with going with Eve. I love the Eve stuff. They're probably a little more expensive. So I'm gonna put, let's see, here's the Eve store and you can get 15% off. I think it's 15% off with this code right here. So you guys can use that. And the code is Shane Whatley 15, all caps put together. And yeah, might as well use that through, let's see, that's from February 20th through the 27th. So you can use that this week. or wait, let's see. No, that was, sorry, that was a different discount. That is through March 19th, so you have a while. The other one I was looking at while we're talking about that is the, these right here are on sale. So I did want to mention this, the Lutron Caseta dimmer switch set is on sale because these don't go on sale very often, and most of us in the HomeKit, a lot of us love the Lutron stuff. So I figured I'd mention this. Here, I'll put an affiliate link to this one. This is 20% off right here for the Lutron Caseta kit. So like I said, they don't go on sale very often, so I did want to mention that to y'all. And also the deluxe dimmer kit right here is big time on sale also. So good deals on those. Like I said, rarely do I see those go on sale. So wanted to mention those to you. Let's see. So, all right, let me try to get to y'all some of these questions up here. And like I said, it's a little harder to find the questions today. Jordan is here. What's up, Jordan? How you doing today? Have you heard any info on the Aqua stuff coming this spring? Still looking at March. Yeah, still looking at March, at least for that doorbell is the last I heard. And I haven't heard any specifics on the other stuff. So I'm assuming it'll be at least March for everything, but definitely for that doorbell, and hopefully soon after for the other stuff like that new present sensor and the lock. But no, I haven't heard anything else since last time we kind of talked about it. Oh, we got another friend from Nebraska here. Andrew is in Nebraska. Thank you for joining us. Oh, nice. John is currently working on his wall-mounted iPad. That's awesome. Love it. Love the wall-mounted iPad. That's a fun, super fun project. Heck yeah, I saw 3 more smart switches messing around with a 3-gang box. It's never fun. Yeah, I know. Trying to cram all those smart switches and wires and stuff into that 3-gang box. I definitely have been there. I feel you. Love smart switches. I actually have a couple that I want to replace too. A couple of smart switches that I want to do. That's on my list. Probably do that pretty soon. Oh wow, Frederick running Ethernet cables in the attic and installing VoIP phones and PoE cameras outside. Nice. I did that not too long ago. Yeah, so I kind of knocked out a lot of my running cables in the attic stuff. Daniel want to stick to thread. Yep. Thread's good. I mean, it doesn't mean it's great though. I've definitely used some thread products that I would switch out with other protocols in a heartbeat. I think it's more about the manufacturer than the protocol in a lot of cases. That's my 2 cents. That's just how I feel about it. Aaron Pierce is here. What's going on, Aaron? Glad you could make it, hang out with us. Hope you're doing well. I know there. Let's see, you guys still there? Looks like I might have had a little hiccup in my connection. Yep, we're there. Okay, it says excellent connection, so I think we're good. Best outdoor cameras, you know, most people are probably gonna go with Unify and say Unify cameras are the best. They're pretty expensive and kind of hard to find. George, Silverhammer Surveillance is probably our camera guy. I think he recommends, is it Alibi? I think is the ones that he likes. I'm using let me show you the ones that I'm using. Let's see, Reolink, and I like Reolink just because first of all, they're easy to find, unlike the Ubiquiti stuff or Unify stuff. But let's see, they've got so many options. Trying to find the ones that I'm using. I did have these, and now I'm using, I don't even see it on here. They've got a lot of different cameras. It looks like those, but they're more round shaped. Basically, Reolink is the ones that I'm using though right now. For the price, they're great for the price. You know, PoE. That's my opinion. Connection is back. Yeah, how long was it out for? Sorry about that, guys. Doesn't. Let's see. Am I still having a rough connection? Excellent connection. I'm gonna have to tell everybody in the house to stop streaming and get off your devices. They're messing up my stream. Solid now. It dropped off and came back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. I got both the kids home right now. Maybe they're streaming stuff, bogging up my connection. Question, I have an Aqua M1S in my walk-in closet. I have an automation set up to turn on my closet light when motion is sent. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. Questions like this, I mean, it takes troubleshooting to figure out what the issue could be. That, you know, it could be numerous things. It could be your Wi-Fi connection, or it could be the connection to your hub, just different things. It's hard to say without, you know, doing some more testing there. What app do I use to create automations for Apple TV? Because Apple Home does not work. It depends on what kind of automations you're doing. There's really not a lot you can do with automations with your Apple TV. Like, there's some things you can do in terms of like personal shortcuts and personal automations using the Shortcuts app, because you can use, technically it's the remote app on your phone to kind of do some things. But other than that, I know none of the third-party HomeKit apps can access the Apple TV. So the only stuff you can do with the Apple TV is in the Home app or in the Shortcuts app. Now let me jump back up here and see if I try to get to some of these questions that I think I missed. Jason, what's going on? Jason says, I had to rebuild my Apple Home after the new architecture. Oh man. However, was unable to re-add my Wemo HomeKit outlet. I got the error that the outlet is already added to the home. Any suggestions? Yeah, I did have the same issue myself recently, and I'm trying to remember what I did, because it was actually the Wemo dimmer. Yeah, I don't know if that's the one you mean. I'm trying to think of what I did. So obviously you have to reset the device by holding the button or whatever, the little thing on there for so long. Sometimes restarting your HomeKit, so like restart your hubs, sometimes will work. And then it could also be your Wi-Fi network, sometimes restarting your Wi-Fi. I think that might be what finally did it for me. Mine was a Thread device, so I'm not really sure where it's like a sync issue, I think. So you had to kind of wipe that cache. Maybe it was just time that fixed that. I don't know, but I was able to add it. But those would be my suggestions on that. Thoughts on it? I'm super excited, talking about the new Aqua presence sensor. Excuse me, super excited about this. I've been using the FP1, which is like the predecessor that was only released, I think, in in China or whatever. It works great, so super excited about the new one. I had some hands-on with it at CES, so it has some really great features I'm super excited about. It should be out in the next like month or two, I'm thinking. They said, I think by the end of Q2, so hopefully maybe March or April, I'm thinking, but I haven't heard anything for sure. Back at CES, all they said was the next few months or next couple of months, I think is kind of how they phrased it. So hopefully pretty soon. Oh, there we go. Jeff says the FP1 doesn't get enough love from the community. Amazing sensor. Yeah, it really is. Not many options, or any options, I don't think, of anything like that, like a true presence sensor in HomeKit. We've got some occupancy sensors, but none are like true presence sensors like that I know of. Seth says, have you noticed any strange behavior surrounding automations that convert to shortcut? Mine randomly delete their contents but continue to work on. I have not noticed that. That's quite strange. No, I have not noticed anything like that. That's interesting. I should too mention, speaking of the new architecture, in a recent question we just got, the new architecture is coming back, in case you guys didn't notice, in iOS 16.4. It's supposed to come back, so let's see if we can look up. There's a few like the beta's out. There's a few features that I'm really excited about. So we're on Mac Rumors. Some stuff I don't care too much about, but let's see. Podcast improvements. Here we go. New home architecture. So 16.4 should reintroduce the new home architecture. So if you didn't update to that new architecture the first go around before they pulled it, you should be able to once 16.4 comes out, if they keep it in there. And another thing I'm really looking forward to, do they put it in here? I don't even know if it's in this article. I don't see it, but what I'm most looking forward to with 16.4 is the new ability to use intercom in our shortcuts. I'm so excited about that. I've been waiting for something like that. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Basically in your shortcuts, your personal shortcuts, you can now, there's a new intercom action where you can put in your shortcut and you can have intercom. Basically you can have your HomePods, you can pick certain rooms if you just want to, intercom specific rooms, certain zones in your house or the whole house, and you can actually get data from the shortcut and feed that into the intercom action. Really awesome stuff. So I've been playing around with that a little bit. I don't know if anybody else has. If you have any, experience, please share. Dan says I moved to the beta 16.4. I had lots of issues with the Thread devices, especially nanoleaf bulbs. Any HomeKit related rumors in iOS 17? I don't know. I don't spend too much time on the rumors. I'm sure there's some out there if you look hard enough. It's just, I don't know. We'll know soon enough. Once WWDC comes this summer, we'll get a good idea of what's coming with iOS 17. I don't spend too much time worrying about those. And who knows? I would expect to see some HomeKit stuff or some Apple Home stuff at WWDC, just with this new home architecture, and it just seems like they're definitely putting some emphasis in smart home. So we'll see. All right, let me get back to some of these questions now. Question, do any of the smart home companies ever contact you about how their products are used in the wild by users in reference your last video? Ellie says, hi. Justin, thank you for the comment, and thanks for being here. Guys, if you haven't seen the last video, go check it out. It was the one I actually just linked to right here, showcasing your smart home automations. Justin had an automation. Basically, I took your submissions. You guys submitted automations to me, which were awesome. Some really cool ones. So thank you for Justin and everybody else who submitted one. But Justin had a super cool automation using his dog Ellie, which is really cool. And yeah, so you actually used an Eve button in that video, and Eve sponsored that video. So I did get some feedback from Eve, and they were like, that was super cool to see so many of, people out in the wild, as you say, that were using the Eve products. Because there was a number of you guys that were using different Eve products in your automations that were submitted to me. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, usually it's more like, if I get a product or something, especially if it's early, and I test it, it's more about me just like giving feedback and trying to say what works, what doesn't work. I'll give my feedback a lot of times to these companies if they, send me products. If something's not working or whatever, I'll usually provide my feedback. But yeah, that's usually how it goes. But I know Eve was really pretty excited about that last video, so that was cool. Question, Jeff says, is the Eve Aqua version 2 worth 60 more than the version 1? Jeff, I would say, this is coming from me, I have an in-ground sprinkler system, so I don't use the Eve Aqua normally. Frederick says absolutely. To me, there's two factors here. The big difference is it's much more quiet, the new one, so if that would be beneficial to you. And secondly, is it has a brass fitting instead of plastic, little plastic ring. And so some people have complained with the plastic one over time, it's cracked or maybe start leaking. So if that's the case, then, you know, definitely would be worth it. And I've also heard of people who have contacted Eve about that issue, and they've, you know, given them, you know, really good customer support from what I've heard from a lot of you guys. So if you are having that issue, you could probably contact them, and they might even send you out a new one. But, you know, I'm a believer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if it's working well, keep on rolling with it. But yeah, if some of those features are intriguing, then it probably is worth it. I like the design. It's so much faster and more quiet than the last version. Corey, what's going on? Corey says, best bathroom round bulbs. Can't use the wall switch in my new rental townhouse. Oh, that's interesting. You know, there's really not many options, Corey, and I don't know off the top of my head. I think Philips Hue has some. Let's see if we can find anything. I don't know what type of bulb that would be considered. I know I've seen some, like especially that make like the Edison type bulbs. You might have to go Philips Hue. Maris might have some. But yeah, I think for you, it's probably going to be more of just like what's available, what you can find, instead of what's best, because I don't think there's a whole lot of options there. Let's see. Question, how secure is Hooves? Because I know it's on a Raspberry Pi. Hooves is secure. I mean, it all runs locally, so really no issues there. You know, it's just kind of like Homebridge or something like that. Oh, there we go. John says Yeelight has some round bulbs. Thank you, John. Yeah, I forget about Yeelight. Let's see if we can find the Yeelight ones. I wonder if they're on Amazon. I'm not seeing. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. There you go. Maybe something like that. That's not probably quite as big as the ones you're looking for. But I think I know what you're... I think I have seen those as well. Something like that. I'm sure they make some brand makes them. I actually don't use a whole lot of smart bulbs in my house. I go with switches, but I know sometimes you can't go with switches, so I get it. Let's see. What's your opinion on using HomePods as permanent TV speakers, and would you recommend getting an Apple TV in 2023? Absolutely. I love Apple TVs. I put them in every room where I have a TV pretty much. I love Apple TV. I use my Apple TV for everything. So I'm not a big gamer, so I don't really, you know, have a bunch of consoles or anything like that. But for all my TV watching, movies, all that kind of stuff, even YouTube and stuff, I do all that on the Apple TV, and I definitely love them. HomePods as permanent TV speakers, yes, they are fantastic. I did a full review on the HomePods recently. You can check that out. I talked a little bit about comparing them to my, I have like a really cheap, it's nothing fancy, like super mid-level Vizio 5.1 surround sound, I think it is. And compared to something like that, even though it's a really inexpensive surround sound, you're not really going to be able to beat like 5 actual speakers. And you know, when you got actual speakers behind you, and the big difference is probably going to be that subwoofer. You're just not going to get that kind of bass even from 2 HomePods. You know, with the subwoofer. Yeah, I mean, I can shake the whole house with that thing watching movies, but. You know, in comparison to like just a sound bar, personally, I think 2 HomePods is as good or better than just a sound bar. If you don't have like those other speakers, yeah, I'm a fan. I think they look great. Probably in the studio here, once I get this all finished set up, I'm gonna use 2 HomePods as my primary default speakers for my Apple TV in the studio. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I think it's good. All right, I'm gonna scroll back. I'm kind of going back and forth in the chat, trying to keep up with you guys and still going to answer y'all's questions. Brian, oh, you made it. Brian is here. If you're still here, I know Brian was out working, so glad you can make it, Brian. Be careful driving, driving but listening. All right. Question: what is the fancy water bottle you have? Is there tech in it? Anyone else using water tracking mug? I'm using the Trago Smart water bottle. I am not. This is something, I don't know. It's a BrewMate. It's nothing fancy. There's no smart tech in it. I think I got it for Christmas actually, because I was just using like plastic water bottles, and I was like, I really need to stop using. I need like just a water bottle to refill all day. So yeah, no tech in there, but maybe I need to look into the Trago Smart water bottle. Let me look into that. The better question is, have you hooked it up to HomeKit somehow? I don't think I've heard of the Trago one. Let's see. Ooh, that looks pretty fancy. I like it. So what is this, just like track your water throughout the day or something? It has a fancy little glow light on it. A reminder when you need to drink. That's pretty awesome, I gotta say. So you probably are way more hydrated than me. I might have to look into that. Very cool, Jeff. Any tips on how to set up an automation to trigger when a focus mode is set? I've hit a wall when trying to script. Mason, I don't off the top of my head have a good suggestion. You should be able to do that in the Shortcuts app when you create a, create a new, it would be a personal automation though. So you would have to create that, triggered when a focus mode is set. Shouldn't be that hard. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm not new to it. I just haven't done much with my focus modes, but I've just started like really spending some time on working on my focus modes just this past week. It's been on my list forever, so I'm really trying to utilize those better in my life. In fact, just today I was editing my recording recording focus mode. So I'm working on those, and we'll probably start tying in HomeKit soon to those. But yeah, I haven't really been doing that personally, but it should be pretty simple in the Shortcuts app. I think it's just a trigger to when a focus mode is set, you can trigger certain things, a personal shortcut. Let's see. Have you tried beta 16.4 and the new architecture? I've actually been on the new home architecture ever since they first released it. So I made a whole video about it actually. It's on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I've been on the new architecture since before they pulled it. I was one of the ones that got to update. So a lot of people did before they pulled it. So I've been on it. I have been trying 16.4, not on all my devices, just on just one device, because I've been wanting to play around specifically with the shortcuts and stuff like that. Some of the new features. I usually stay away from betas unless I have a really good reason to use them, because it can just introduce so many issues, especially when you got all the smart home accessories, and I didn't want to get mess up my home. So I usually stay away from them, but I have been trying it recently. Any solution on Wemo doorbell never usually responding? I don't have a solution other than unplug it and plug it back in, which is kind of a pain. Obviously, there's so many factors that could be into play when a device is not responding, especially a Wi-Fi based device like that, with your network and different things to look into. Lone Star Trent's got the beta on everything. How's it working out for you? Any major issues there? Yeah, like to live dangerously, indeed. Alexa says unplug it and plug in another brand. That's funny. Let's see. All right, where's some more questions? Mel Osborne, question: No neutral Lutron. Say that 5 times fast. switches, especially 3 or 4-way. Any word about more coming since most homes lack a neutral switch? So there's a few of them out there available. Usually the no neutral devices for HomeKit switches are going to be your dimmers. So Lutron does make, like, all the Lutron dimmers don't require a neutral wire. So I would probably just go with those if you have to. And yeah, they actually just released their new, let's see. So you got the Claro. Let me see if I can pull them up here on Amazon to give you a visual. Lutron, Caseta. So we already looked at the Caseta. So these right here, these dimmers, they don't require a neutral. These right here do require a neutral. So usually your on-off switch is going to require a neutral. Same thing like with the Eve switch. That's just an on-off switch. Another really good one too, but that does require a neutral. Whereas your dimmers usually don't. So this doesn't require a neutral. The Wemo thread dimmer doesn't require a neutral. Also let me see if I can find the Lutron Claro. They had, that's not the one. So this is the new one, the Diva dimmer. I have one of these also. They're awesome. Same thing, doesn't require a neutral, and they just released the companion switch. So if you have 3 and 4-way switches, you can use the Claro companion switch, and you can get those from, I know they're at Home Depot. Let me see if we can find it. Let's see. I got a link to it somewhere. So yeah, it looks just like that. I don't know if that's the one. Yeah, Claro switch for Caseta smart lighting. So this would be what you would use for like your 3 and 4-way switches, especially. Let's see. Lawrence, have you tried the Aqua T1Q Pro with Apple Home via Matter? Mine does not appear in Apple Home despite being Aqua's. No, I haven't tried that. I've only put a few of the Aqua devices over to Matter. I have not had a very fun time with my Matter stuff lately, so I'm in no big rush to move over those. For those that don't know, the T1 is this little cube right here. I also did a video on that too. I gotta set it down carefully. Oh, there we go. Triggered my devices by setting it down. Oh yeah, let me see. Gotta turn my camera lights back on. Turn the camera lights on. So got me in the dark here. So it does work. But yeah, no, I haven't put that one in there. I'm surprised that honestly that was on the list, because I didn't think Thread supported like buttons or scene controllers yet. And that definitely seems like a scene controller or a button. So I don't know. But I've seen that coming. But yeah, so like I said, I'm in no rush to get all my stuff working in Matter, to be honest with you. I'm kind of slowly here and there adding new things, but again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my my motto. Question, what's with all the comments showing up on the right side of the screen? What are we talking about, Larry? Is there something I'm missing? No, not that. Let me know if there's something I'm not seeing, or something y'all are seeing I'm not seeing. Let's see. More questions. Where are we at? Question, do Thread smart plugs such as Wemo rely on Wi-Fi strength, or is it separate signal? So it's a separate signal, but it is Thread is IP based, so and I'm like no expert on the protocols and like the real deep stuff, but Thread is IP based. So when it comes to like setting up a device, if you're having issues with it, or maybe if it's like earlier somebody was asking if the Wemo switch, it says it's already added, that could have something to do with your Wi-Fi or your network, you know what I mean? So that's why I said sometimes restarting your network could help. And there's probably somebody in here that can explain that way better than I can. Is Wemo Thread smart plug good? The Thread smart plug, yeah, I've been using one. I probably like Eve's a little bit better. I think Eve's are just a little bit more reliable, but the Wemo one is good. I've been using one. That's one I use every day for the wife's hair straightener, actually. I don't know if I have another one, but yeah, I have one I use all the time. Question, do you have a referral link for the Lutron Claro dimmer switch? Yeah, let me see if I can find that for you real quick. And also in my videos, I usually try to put links and stuff. So I know I did do a video on that. So you can usually find links to stuff in certain videos is one way. Let's see, Lutron Claro. Actually, you're looking for. Are you looking for the Claro dimmer or the Diva? The Diva is well, if I can find that. So the Diva is like the smart one, and then it's kind of confusing. Lutron Diva. All right, so here's the Diva. And then let me look for that Claro, which is like the accessory switch, I think. Yep, so it should be this one here. Let me double check that. And those are affiliate links, like I said, so come on. Claro Smart Accessory Rocker, yep. So this is the one you would want to use if you had like a 4-way switch setup. You would get this one right here. This is that accessory switch. And those actually just came out. They were announced a while ago, but just came out. So great for those 4-way switches. I've heard good things about them already. Well, let's see. Okay, let me get back to some of the questions I missed. Appreciate you guys being patient with me as we're trying to work through all these questions. I'm trying to get my HomePod to announce that my back window is open if it is when I open the front door to leave. That's going to be really tricky right now because you can't. Yeah, it's tricky. I did a video a while ago. Let me show you here. You might want to look at this video. So basically it's how to set these kinds of custom Siri announcements. It's very like nuanced. It's not straightforward, honestly. It can be done, but
I'm running the new macOS Ventura, but what's...
It's not, let's see, custom Siri. And that's why, honestly, I'm so excited about the ability to use intercom in our shortcuts. So that's still only possible at the time of this, like currently, at the time of the beta, it's still only available in personal shortcuts. So you can't use like a HomeKit accessory like your front door contact sensor to trigger the intercom. Unfortunately, I really, really hope to see that feature brought in to like convert to shortcut. Would be awesome. But so far you can't do that. All right, let's see. Did you get your whiskey cart yet? No, not yet. So that I guess that's the last piece of furniture to go up here. That can be an add-on. So all the essential stuff I have is pretty much here, like I said, except for that coffee table. But yeah, I do want to put a little whiskey cart somewhere in here. So yeah, that'll probably come next. Let's see. Question, follow up. Shared shortcuts with my husband, but he doesn't get the question about who's speaking. Maybe you need to do another. Insert your. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes Siri just has a hard time understanding some people. You could ask my wife. She knows all about that. 74 in Kentucky. Oh, that's nice. Post your affiliate link with Eve also, please. So I have posted a link earlier to go to the Eve store with that promo code. So check that out. And what I'll do is I'll put that same code in the description of this video once this video is done. Once we're done with the live stream, so you can come back and I'll copy and paste that down there so you guys can get to that if you want to take advantage of that code and save 15% on some of the Eve stuff right now. Actually, like all the Eve stuff. All right, questions. Man, it sucks when YouTube doesn't highlight the stuff for me. I don't know why my question highlighter is not working today, but we're working through it. A car is my favorite go-to device for devices. Do you think they will ever have more lighting options in the US, like the light strip they are releasing here? I mean, I can only assume that since they are releasing their light strip over here soon, that hopefully it's the first of more to come. But I don't know. And they, as you're probably aware, they've got a lot available over in like the Chinese market. So hopefully they'll bring more of that stuff over here. It's a good sign that they're bringing their light strips. So I don't know one way or another, but hopefully they will. I kind of look at that as like, step one. So, okay, they're bringing a light strip over here, which I mean, they haven't had any lighting devices over here for a long time or ever. So that's a good sign. Just say it, Wemo thread devices suck. I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I'm using their the Wemo plug and it's good. The Wemo dimmer has been good. I did have to reset it recently. And that was the only time I've had an issue with it. So yeah, I mean, they're okay. I wouldn't say they suck. There's definitely some devices that I would tell you if I thought they sucked. Looks like I'm seeing some of the same questions multiple times, unless it's me here. Let me scroll down to the bottom of the chat here. And sorry guys if I missed your question or something, but I'm trying, and it's kind of tough today. So question, can we use the Eve discount code with your Amazon affiliate links on your website? No, you can't, Jeff. That's just for the, that discount was just for the recent sponsorship that they did on the channel. And it's only, I'm pretty sure it only works on their website on Eve, I think it's evehome.com. So yeah, I don't think that'll work on Amazon. All right, question. I have a Maras garage door opener with an alert if the door opened for 15 minutes. I arrived home last weekend because of sleep focus. I didn't get the alerts. Well, I mean, I guess the workaround would just be to go into your sleep focus settings and make sure the notifications are turned on. It looks like for the Maris app, if you're getting one of those, if it's open for 15 minutes, so it's probably using the Maris app. So just make sure your sleep focus you have enabled where you can still get notifications, that those notifications from the Maris app will kind of break through. That's what you would have to do for that. Ah, there you go. Somebody else answered that. Question, where are you from? I am from kind of everywhere. South Carolina now. Been here since I was in high school, and before that moved all around the country. Even lived in Germany for a little while. Military brat, so kind of lived everywhere for my whole childhood, and ended up settling down in South Carolina. Got tired of moving, I guess you could say. Question, light connected to Aqara motion sensor keeps turning off after around 30 seconds of detecting motion and turning on. What am I doing wrong? Do you have another automation that turns it off? Or maybe you have the option turn off after 30 seconds in your automation? I mean, there's a few things to check there, John, but if you have a separate automation that turns the light off, then that's probably it. If you have an automation like when no motion is detected, maybe that's what it is. Let's see. Won't be disappointed with Aqara contact sensors. Yep, I agree with that. I use a lot of Aqara stuff. In fact, that's how I'm creating my pressure sensor, is using Aqara sensors. So more to follow on that. It's been a fun little project. Do you think the Habitat Hub is a good integration for all your Zigbee devices now they have the HomeKit integration? Excuse me. I do. It's you know, they're not going to support everything, but a lot of the like generic little Zigbee devices and stuff that you can buy, they do support. If you watch my video, I was able to get a number of those little generic ones to connect to it. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I like the Habitat stuff a lot so far. I'm still kind of new to it, but I've been happy with it. Darren, visual variant. New member having trouble accessing the Discord, following directions linked YouTube, but not showing up. So a couple things. Well, first of all, thank you for being a member. So a couple things. Sometimes it'll take up to an hour if you've linked your YouTube in the Discord server. And I guess I should mention for any other members who wants to get into Discord, if you've had any issues, you need to link your YouTube account in Discord. You just go to your Discord user settings and then go to connections, and there you can click on YouTube and just put in your YouTube credentials or whatever. Sometimes once you do that, it will take up to an hour, so maybe it's that. So just check back if you've done it recently. Other than that, if it should work. So you just have to make sure it's, you know, this obviously the same YouTube account that you've joined as, that you're, you know, that like this one here that you're a member with. But once you do that, I think it's called sub-enabled servers will show up right in that connections tab in your user settings. So hopefully that'll show up for you soon. Question, wife changed her Apple ID and I can no longer invite her to join my home. She never received an invite. Any workarounds? By the way, got in Discord. Okay, cool. Yeah, so actually, if you go over to this video here, I try to put links to like helpful stuff in the videos right here. This is the one on the updated architecture. So commercials. Right here, resources. There was a lot of people having those issues, so I don't know if anybody else has some advice here in the chat for Darren, but let's see right here. So you can, let's see if I can copy that link. You can try this, and I don't know if this, whoa, that's a redirect. Oh well, I'll put it in there. If it'll let me. No, it's not gonna let me. But anyways, go to that. No, I'm not a YouTube Premium subscriber, and I think about doing it every time I freaking get on here and have to watch those ads. I need to do it. pressure sensor is working out. I like it. It's a little finicky, but I'm working through it, and it's really cool. It's so much fun to be able to like automate stuff. Like, I don't know if you were here in the beginning of the chat, but I sat down. I set up an automation where I sit down on the couch here in the studio, and my Lutron honeycomb shades will automatically shut. You can turn on lights or turn off lights and stuff. So it's really fun. I think I might end up keeping it in here and using it with the couch. I don't know. I'm torn if I'm gonna use it on the couch or in the bed. I tested it out in the bed a little bit. My wife really doesn't like automations in the bedroom, I've noticed. Anything that can turn on the light when she doesn't want a light on is not good. So, so I moved it, and I've been testing it up here a little bit, and it's been pretty awesome so far. Let's see. Want a video about your pressure sensor? I don't think that's a question, Trey. I feel you though. I got you. I'm working on something. I think it'll be a fun one. Good question, Alexis. Yes, so all my affiliate links that I put on my YouTube videos and stuff, or if I post here in the chat, I use a service that should redirect you to the appropriate Amazon store for your region. So they should work in Europe or wherever you're at as well, if the product's available. So yes, my link should take you to the appropriate Amazon store. Thank you for asking, and thank you for using my affiliate links. That stuff really does help out the channel a lot, believe it or not. It helps us keep the lights on, as they say. Let's see. Man, pressure sensor in the bed is great for setting the alarm. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Question, what's the code for the Eve purchases? So we'll be done with the stream here soon. I will come back in like 5 minutes or once we're done. I'll put a link, and the code is Shane Whatley 15. And I'll put the link that you can use, and that does help out me a little bit too, using that link, because that just lets Eve know that, because they sponsored the last video, and that's what we got that promo code for. So I'll put a link to that. But yeah, Shane Whatley 15 should give you 15% off over on their web store. Question, what app do you recommend to create a room temperature based automation? You can do that in the Home app now. For a long time you couldn't, but yeah, I'd say if you can do it in the Home app, do it in the Home app. Other apps that I really like to use, the Eve app, Controller for HomeKit is a really good one, and the Home Plus app. Those are probably the three for creating automations. Third-party apps that I really like. All right, guys, well, it is about that time. Thank you so much for joining and hanging out today. I appreciate you guys. It's been a lot of fun, as always. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. If I didn't get to your question or comment, I'm sorry. I'll try. Come back next week. We'll be here every week, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also new videos every Sunday. And go ahead and follow me over on Instagram. I post a lot of behind the scenes stuff there. And let's see, Instagram. I'm also on TikTok and Twitter. I'm not as active over there, but I'm trying. Definitely on Instagram and here on YouTube. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for joining and hanging out, talking smart home and HomeKit with me. Always fun. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.